Good morning, everyone. It is July 26th, and this is the sixth rendition of ZecDaily. First bit of business I want to cover is perhaps we need a new name for ZecDaily because this is not happening every day. It's happening every other day. I like the way it's going on right now, but if people want to think it should be called something else that is more representative of the cadence that is currently happening on, let me know. I'll send out a tweet later, see if people actually care, see if I get any responses. I really doubt it. I don't think people really care, but something I was thinking about this morning. But for the first bit of real news that we are going to cover, Filecoin, an electric coin company, Filecoin Foundation retweeted on Friday, or tweeted out on Friday, just a reminder that they are asking for proposals for a new grants program between them and ECC. So if you go down to the third tweet of this section, this is just an open RFP that's covering all this information. Essentially, Filecoin and ECC are working together to empower the Filecoin, Zcash, and greater Web3 ecosystems through a new grants pool. They're looking for projects that lead to additional utility for both Phil and Zec, the tokens and their chains and respective ecosystems. And all of the work funded via this RFP must be open source through MIT and Apache 2 licenses. So when Halo was announced that it was going to go under the MIT and Apache 2 licenses, this partnership was announced as well, and they are looking to give out grants for people building on these respective ecosystems. So if you go to the FAQs, the probably most important one is what are they actually looking for? So a couple things they've mentioned is Filecoin. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna have a sip of coffee. Oh man, that was a blunder. Filecoin storage. That's why Filecoin storage, Filecoin. Okay, there's a little mix up there. Filecoin storage payments in Zec. It would be highly beneficial to both ecosystems if Filecoin storage payments could be made in Zec, offering same level of privacy for storage purchases that exist in Zcash shielded transactions. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a cool thing. They're looking to get that built. Media and file support in Zcash encrypted memos and NFTs. Okay. A better way to encrypt files in the Filecoin storage and add support for mobile clients so they could attach media or files to Zcash encrypted memos. That's pretty dope. So like if you're sending a memo, you can send out like a PDF or an NFT, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. And then a zero-knowledge virtual machine. So the Filecoin virtual machine project will be released in milestones across 2022. And ECC is interested in general programming capability as well. Projects exploring zero-knowledge technology to improve privacy and security of virtual machine execution are of particular interest. Gonna be honest. That's a little above my head. But yeah, so this is what they're looking to build here. These are the three main areas that they're looking to give out funding for. From my understanding, that as long as there's a project that would benefit both ecosystems, their respective tokens, coins, and just the general blockchain as well, they are interested in hearing that out. So if you are interested in building on Zcash, building on Filecoin, this is a particularly good grants program to go into. Because you're going to be able to really work on cross-chain collaboration, potential interoperability, things of that nature. So I think it's really cool that this program's out and that Filecoin Foundation and ECC are working together on this. And yeah, I just recommend checking it out, learning more about this. It's gonna bring up some really cool things here in the future. So excited to continue following this. The next bit, Zcash Media on Friday or Saturday updated the community that they are going to pause their new grants proposal for 2022 to 2023. So there's been a lot of conversations between ZCG and Zcash Media. Disclaimer, I did in the forums support Zcash Media in the receiving of the grant. So I did say I think they should get it. I mean, the grant should be approved. So just disclaimer there, kind of biased, but yeah. So they had a lot of, conversations, and they have decided that they're going to reopen it when they have time to create a proposal that is broken down by packages. So I would imagine that means like they're going to, have a proposal that's like, okay, we're going to deliver this aspect first, this aspect second, this aspect third, instead of the first proposal was just like, we're going to create 12 different, documentaries over the course of this time, and we're going to do a lot of social media to kind of promote those. This seems to be a little bit different because they're going to have different aspects of a proposal that they're going to be putting out. Could be wrong there, but that's what it seems. They have worked with ZCG on this idea, and they're also, while they were working through this new idea of like, so this is really cool. We believe the solution is the creation of like a Zcash specific media menu. But yeah, again, all this stuff takes time, so they have to like go back and think about how they would actually implement this. So they, in the interim, are going to bring up a bridging, like a bridge fund, like another grant that's going to help like bridge some funding over to this next proposal that they put out to the community. That will allow them to like have people working on Twitter, do interviews at ZCon, social media cuts, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, so this is this is a little bit, I don't know how to put this. I would say it's a little bit of a blow to the Zcash ecosystem, because there was a lot of really great work from 37 Lanes on this front, but at the same time, like I'm impressed by ZCG with the thoughtfulness that they're taking to this grant, the thoughtfulness that like they're saying, hey, the grant in its original form, like there were a lot of people who were uncomfortable with it, and I don't know how much that community feedback led to the decision to kind of like review this and come back with something different. But at the same time, I'm impressed with ZCG and their thoughtfulness around this, and I'm glad that, as it stands, 37 Lanes is coming for, bridge funding so they can continue to work within the Zcash ecosystem, and that they're going to be coming up with a new grant here in the future. So they're going to be having a value proposition meeting at ZCon 3, where they're going to talk to the community about, their view on like Zcash Media and its value within like the greater ecosystem, and then also listen to the community for their feedback. So that's going to be happening at ZCon 3, and they're going to share some information around that in a separate thread away from this forum thread when we get closer to the event. So there are some comments from ZCG. If you want to like see what their comments were on this, you can actually go into the forums, and I believe it is this post right here from Decentralist Dan, the Zcash Community Grants meeting from 7/11/2022, where they have a lot of different, they're covering a lot of different things that are happening in the ecosystem. So a lot of great stuff there. Wanted to provide that update on Zcash Media. Excited to hear that they're going to be doing another grant proposal in a different format. Excited to hear that they're going to be getting bridge funding potentially to allow their team to continue to work on it. And again, excited to see them in a couple weeks at ZCon 3. So that's the update there. ZCon 3 speaker highlights, Skylar Saveland and Jonathan Bird from Free to Zcash, Free to Z. So if you don't know, are aware, Free to Z is essentially a Zcash, I would say Zcash based, like, it's a solution where you can use Zcash and shielded Zcash transactions and not also have to like dox your identity to like do peer-to-peer fundraising, peer-to-peer giving, etc., etc., etc. So their talk is going to be on peer-to-peer giving, and I think this is pretty cool. So I would imagine peer-to-peer giving would be around like, okay, I'm working on this project, or I'm doing work in like in the Zcash ecosystem, but I don't have a grant, I'm not funded. Like, here's my Free to Z page where you can check out everything I'm doing, and then you can also like tip me or sponsor me or whatever you would like to do. So a lot of people have done that with Free to Z pages, and there was this time, probably a few months ago, where someone was going around and giving out 5 ZEC to, different pages that they really liked and thought was full of thoughtful content. So yeah, Free to Z is a really great resource for people who want to be tipped in Zcash or receive Zcash payments or Zcash donations based on the work they're doing. So I would definitely recommend checking out. ZecHub is going to get a Free to Z page, here in the next week or so when got some time to work on that. But yeah, they're going to be doing a talk around peer-to-peer giving. I like giving. I think giving is really awesome. I think, giving to friends, family, people who are working on interesting stuff, charities, etc. is really cool. So I'm excited for this talk and really excited to hear it. A little bit of a sidebar as we get away from the Zcash specific. Well, this is Zcash specific. The Aleo community posted a short little video yesterday highlighting the differences between Zcash and the Aleo ecosystem. So they just kind of went over at a high level what the differences between the transaction verification mechanisms were, or how the transactions go through and are verified. So yeah, check out this video. Thought it was pretty interesting. They put it out yesterday. Something I'm not at all well versed in. Need urgent help regenerating Zcashd wallet.dat from Mnemonic via Zcash-CLI. So this is, around the wallet stuff that's happening right now, and trying to recover a private key and an emergency recovery phrase to get access to the wallet. I believe that's what ERP-help is doing. If you go through this thread, there's some trial and error that happens, and then two members, Nuttycombe being one and then Dairo being the other, two members from the ECC team do make comments on this, basically clarifying how all this could work. And what this person here needs to be waiting on. And at the end, that's correct. Your funds are safe. The tool is currently undergoing unit testing. We'll let you know as soon as it's available. So if you do use Zcash D in this, or you use this specific, technology, or using this on a day-to-day basis, I would recommend, or just interested in like the wallet situation in general, like a little bit of an update, I would check out this thread just for some information that's been going on there. So yeah, I thought that was, I read it and kind of understood what was going on. So again, I'm not very technical at all. So if I have a slightest idea of what's going on with this, I'm sure you guys would too. So good to check that out. Another chat from Nate Wilcox and Stephen Smith at ZCon3. This is going to be about pool retirement. A large part of the effort for the latter stages of Zcash NU5 was integrating the newer features with older pre-NU5 technologies. And the electric coin company has already initiated a policy for Sprout that limits the transfers into the Sprout pool. But there needs to be a general set of guidelines for how to retire older pools so Zcash can move faster with engineering efforts and reduce protocol complexity. So obviously with NU5, there was the introduction of the Orchard shielded pool. And I would imagine that this talk is just going to be around like, okay, we have these older pools that we used in the past. While we want to integrate the new technologies into these pools as we move forward into the future, that is not always going to be sustainable. So we need to think about how we're going to retire older pools and move all of the funds in those pools over to the newer pools. I believe that's what this is over. So if you're interested in all of that, in those types of topics and Zcash protocol development, I would recommend checking out this talk at ZCon3. Okay. Little sidebar again, I took all the posters that ECC does. Every now and then they have some of these, and I put them into phone covers. So if you want to have a phone cover, a Zcash specific phone cover, check out the tweet in the description. You can just go in and right-click save it. So save image as, and it'll be yours. So I prepped these for iPhones, but they can, I guess, resize to any type of phone background. Zcash Espanol and Zcash Brazil did comment that Zcash Brazil has been translating some of these into Portuguese, so if you speak Portuguese, I would recommend checking them out as well. And then the last tweet of the day, Zcash fans, we are conducting surveys for vendors. So ZecDaily is trying to build a POS system specific for vendors who want to accept Zcash. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. And they're doing a survey for vendors, and they're considering accepting Zcash, and I would also say cryptocurrency in general. I would check out this survey. We're going to put this in the description. If you know any shops specifically or stores that you would like to see accept Zcash, send them the survey and get as much feedback as possible for ZecDaily. And that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining and watching. Kept it, under 15 minutes, doing pretty good, getting better. In this video, going to do my best and going to add timestamps, which was mentioned from Winnie in the community last week. This needs time. Not everything is very interesting to all people. Some people just want to get to the parts that they care about, and I understand that. I do that too in podcasts. So I'll put some timestamps on this video. And again, if I'm butchering any explanations and mispronouncing things or anything of that nature, I just, again, want to apologize in advance. Doing my best here. This is getting recorded early morning, so brain's not necessarily firing on all cylinders, and also, again, a lot of stuff going on. I don't know everything, and yeah, just trying to learn along the way as you guys are. So appreciate the support, appreciate the time, and I will see you guys on the next one.